Hi guys, this is Rajat from e-GMAT. I'm here with some big news today that I just heard. It seems in the world of GMAT, we've gone from the in-center GMAT to having no option to take the GMAT, to having the online GMAT, which was plagued by technology and whiteboard issues. To now we're moving more towards where we have exam centers opening worldwide. And today, I think probably which is one of the biggest announcements is that in addition to exam centers opening worldwide, we have the online GMAT, which gives us a real whiteboard, which means a physical whiteboard, which is something like this. So you can now, instead of using the online whiteboard, which was the on-screen whiteboard, you can now use a real whiteboard along with an erasable marker and an eraser during your test. Not only that, it seems the GMAT's gone, or the MBA.com has gone all out with regards to how big a whiteboard would they allow. And just to really tell you how big a whiteboard do they allow, you can get a whiteboard that's as big, or an erasable whiteboard that is as big as 12 inches by 20 inches. That's about 240 square inches. And just to really tell you how big that is, let me just draw a comparison. This is my iPad. It's the 2018 10.2 inch iPad. And that's about 50 square inches. This is 5 inches by 10 inches this way. So that's 50 square inches, and we're talking about 5x as much writing space as this iPad. Now, when you compare this to my good old notebook, this is about 8.5 by 11 inches, so arguably about 95 square inches, so about 2.5x as much space as, or real estate space as this one. If you think about an old trusted clipboard over here, that's about 1 feet by about 9 inches sideways. So that's still more than twice as much space. And then the biggest thing that I could find, which could replicate the size, was this thing, which is a piece of wood which just looks like the whiteboard. This is the biggest thing, and that's 1 foot by about 16 inches. It's still not 20 inches that way. And so that's about 192 square inches. And you're talking about 25% more real estate. Just to really compare this as to how big this thing is to an iPad, you can really see that this thing is humongous. I mean, I can really take it for this way, and you can still do that. So you don't need to buy a whiteboard this big. I'm sorry, but you can if you want that real estate space. And again, you can have one marker and you can have an eraser along with it. So I think this is really great news. And then the reason why this is really good is because you now have options. You have good options of taking the GMAT in center. But for those of you who have a good, reliable internet connection and who have a good machine, you can take the exam from the comfort of your home. You can take the exam at a time slot that you prefer to take the test in, and make sure that you get the most out of it. In addition to this, been talking to a lot of people off late, and talking to them about their online GMAT experiences, and I've gotten more positive experiences than negative. So it seems from a process standpoint, from a technology standpoint, the online GMAT exam is getting much more reliable, and with the introduction of a physical whiteboard that you can now use, I think the online GMAT, arguably, in my opinion, becomes a much better option than the in-center GMAT. You don't have the stress of going to various cities. You don't have to reach there on time. You use your own computer, as I said. And if you guys have questions about it, one other advantage of the online GMAT, which I think a lot of people don't take into consideration, is that with the online GMAT, you can now send your scores to as many schools as possible. So with the in-center GMAT, you get your scores, but you can only send them to about 5 schools. If you want to send it to more than 5 schools, you pay $25 per school. With the online GMAT, you can send them to 10 schools, 15 schools. You only pay the $200 online GMAT exam fee. So I think it's really beneficial to take the online GMAT if you have a good internet connection, if you have a quiet place in your house, and if you have a reasonably big laptop or a monitor and keyboard setup. If I'm sure you guys have questions. If you have questions about whether you should take the online GMAT or what else is required to take the GMAT from home, please write them in the comments. Also, I'm going to put in the link for the release from MBA.com in the description below, so you can go and take a look at it from there. Thank you for listening, and I hope you guys have a good day.